From Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and today we are taking a look at a very cool 1972 Fender Stratocaster in its original sunburst finish. That has a ton, and I mean a ton of mojo. This was definitely somebody's road dog. You definitely tell from like the wear and the fingerboard, and also that headstock that has like darkened into like almost this just totally brown color. Definitely, again, a lot of very cool mojo. Last of the 4-bolt Fender Strats. Back in, I believe, later in 1972, they would then change over to the 3-bolt neck construction. And a lot of people would then say that like the 4-bolt of 1972 is like one of the last, or like are the last of the good ones, if you will. Because those are then like more closely resembling to the ones from the 1960s. But this is a very, very cool player, and again, a ton of mojo, and but it just sounds and plays really, really, really fantastic. So let's dive into the specs. So we've got what appears to be an alder body, again in its original 3-tone sunburst finish, or what appears to be a 3-tone sunburst finish. Definitely got, again, some playwear also there on the back of the body over here. And this being a 1972 model, it probably has one of those mixed type of a finish styles, meaning that it is like a mixture between polyurethane and nitro. But this is probably like more so poly than nitro, because if you look over there at the wear on the arm contour area, it definitely looks more polyurethane-esque, like as that it would like tends to be a little bit more flaky, but it is all there, like as in that it doesn't like flake off or anything, as long as you don't try to take it off. But definitely it looks more so kind of like reminiscent of polyurethane than to nitro. But then if you look at the back, this is kind of like, does look more nitro-esque. So probably just a mixture between the two, which I have read that they did back in those days. But again, looks very, very cool. Got the original pickups, which are the original gray bottom pickups from those days, so like the normal ones from those days. Got the original tremolo system, also with the original arm. Got the original electronics, so you've got a 3-way pickup selector switch, which back in those days would be the norm. It would only be until the late 1970s that they would change that to the 5-way switch. You can get those in between tones, but you then have to like balance them out, which can be a little bit tricky, but it can be done. But again, a little bit tricky. Then you've got a tone control for your neck pickup, and then a tone control for your middle pickup. No tone for your bridge, so that in the bridge position it is just wide open. Got your input jack over here on the front. Got a maple neck with a rosewood fingerboard, and then the walnut stripe on the back. The rosewood fingerboard is very, very dark, like incredibly dark. It's been a while since I've seen one that is so dark. And it definitely shows some very, very cool wear, especially here on the higher frets. You can see that the former player or the former players have like really worked their way through or like into the rosewood, because it's almost like a little bit like scalloped. Hopefully you can see that, hopefully you can pick that up. But this was, again, definitely somebody's road dog that has been gigged a lot of times. Got the original pearloid inlays. The frets are not in the best of shape, I'm not going to lie to you. So this could definitely use a refret, but I'm just going to leave that up to the next owner. But it still plays, but it is definitely like on its last meat, if you will, when it comes to the frets, especially on like the higher frets over here. They're pretty flat, but again, it still plays, but it could definitely use a refret. Also then got the introduction of the bullet truss rod over there on the top of the headstock, which was a first in 1972, I believe, maybe 1971, but that is definitely indicative that we are in the 1970s. Got the dual string trees, which is also of the 1970s, and then the original tuners over there, the Fender embossed tuners, and you can see that kind of a nasty line over there. So this has had a crack in the headstock, which is not uncommon to see, but it is definitely good to know that that has been repaired, but it is just totally intact. But it definitely shows that scar, if you will. And then again, that very, very cool darkened headstock over there with your decal. And then the last thing to mention, it also comes with its original hardshell case, so that is also very, very cool to see. So yeah, very, very cool Strat. Again, tons and tons of mojo. Totally original, apart from the neck plate, by the way, which I forgot to mention. That is not original, but that is just kind of like a minor detail. But again, apart from that, all original, so that is very, very cool, including the original trem arm. So yeah, let's hear what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this 1972 Fender Stratocaster, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool electric guitars like these, cool acoustics, bass guitars, even of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's see what this 1972 Fender Stratocaster sounds like. Going to be playing it through the 1966 Marshall JTM45 Blues Breaker style amplifier. First we'll be playing the clean tones, and then I'll be playing the dirty tones, for which I'll be using a Klon non-horsey variant, which sounds fantastic. So let's then get to that part and take this very, very cool and very vibey 1972 Fender for a spin.